Hey guys, Mark here. Today we're going to be talking about how you can turn your old iPad into a secondary display for your PC or Mac. This is done with an app available on the App Store called Duet. Unfortunately, Duet isn't free. Actually, it's one of the most expensive apps I've ever come across. It's 20 bucks. But is it worth it? Let's talk about it. After you purchase the app, you have to download it on your computer. I've tried it in both a PC and a MacBook Air, and the performance on both devices was relatively similar on my 4th generation iPad. To start using your iPad as a second monitor, or in my case a third monitor, you first have to connect your iPad to your computer via a USB Lightning cable. This is where we come to the first negative of this setup. Because the USB port in my computer doesn't have enough power to charge the iPad while it's on, Duet is going to be constantly sucking power out of your iPad. And I'm not talking about a slow drain here. Duet is brutal on the iPad's battery. This unfortunately means you can't have Duet running constantly. You will eventually have to turn off your iPad and charge it. It's not all bad though. Connecting your iPad physically to your computer means that there won't be any lag, like there would be if you were connecting the tablet via a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connection, at least in theory. On that note, let's talk about performance. On both my PC and the MacBook Air, performance was iffy. My PC runs an i7-6700 with 16 gigabytes of RAM and a GTX 980, so I should have had no problems running this third display. Duet gives you access to several display options. You can choose between 30 and 60 frames per second, a high-powered, energy-efficient, or pixel-perfect performance mode, and you can choose several different resolutions depending on your iPad. I conducted 3 tests with very distinct results. In the first test, I maxed everything in Duet. I ran it at 60 frames per second with the high performance mode at the highest resolution my iPad allowed. And I was disappointed. My cursor lagged all over the screen with a frame rate that was much below 60. YouTube videos with these settings are nearly impossible to view in full screen mode. The video stutters constantly and it just won't let me play it properly no matter what YouTube resolution I select. After that, I turned all the settings down to the lowest they would go to see if I could get a consistent result out of the app. Sure enough, that did it. At 30 frames per second, with the energy efficient mode at the lowest resolution possible, the app was usable. I encountered very little stuttering, even in YouTube videos. This wasn't good enough for me though. The main reason I bought the app was to have videos playing on the 2K Retina display on the side of my desk. So I tried again with the full resolution of the iPad with the energy efficient mode turned on and the frame rate lowered to 30 frames per second. More stuttering. Less than the first time, but it was still stuttering to the point where it just wasn't worth it. One other thing to note is that since the iPad has a built-in touch display, the app allows you to control your computer directly from the tablet using the touchscreen. Some people might really like that feature, but I just don't find it all that useful. So that's all there really is to say. The app just doesn't run as smooth as I would have liked on my 4th gen iPad. That being said, it's still a useful tool to have in a pinch, and if you don't have a second monitor, it's definitely going to speed up your productivity. I've had more than one monitor for as long as I can remember, and I can't imagine going back to just having one. So is it worth the $20? If you have an iPad and you don't have a second monitor, yeah, why not? But if you already have 2 or 3 monitors, this isn't going to help you much, and the performance issues just aren't worth the money. That's it for this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing and leaving a thumbs up, and if you didn't, feel free to tell me why in a comment below. Feedback always helps me put together better content for you guys in the future. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.